Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I can do an update to a video I did about a week or two ago, titled, My Girlfriend Seduced Me into a Crazy Marriage, Divorced Her, 20 years later, she's divorced from 3 baby daddies. And guys, that's the story about the guy who married the wrong girl, never-ending drama, who was playing all the games and not giving him the SEX. He married her even though everybody said it was a bad idea. And all this drama, she's cheating on it, was just absolute chaos. And eventually he learns and gets rid of her and all that. And you all recall that story. My hand was sore for days from smacking the shit out of him, and he certainly earned it in that video. And here we are with an update on his situation in his life. Everything that happened after her, because a lot of guys requested, they had questions about his situation with her, had questions about what happened to him afterwards, and he definitely learned a lot of things after her. He goes through a period where he, and in the story, dates lots of different women, a lot of them very good looking, because he reached a point that he just probably didn't care anymore, and he had no problem approaching beautiful women, and drama central. And it's interesting how he had all the drama with his first, with Rachel, his ex, his wife, and I think he was so used to it that he chose a lot of crazy gals. They were the hot crazy scale. And he shares all his adventures with them. It's pretty entertaining, which will shock nobody here. And eventually to where he is in life right now, years later, and he's doing really well. He's married, traditional wife, loves him, treats him like the king. And that's the way it should be, and he's happy, and I'm glad. So I thought it'd be very good to go hear this guy's update, and I think you'll find it pretty entertaining. He says, Hey SSM, thank you for reading my story. The smacks were all justified, and listening back, it's hard to believe how much of a simp I was. Dude, my hand was hurting for 3 days after smacking you so much. Hopefully it helps other guys avoid the same mistakes that I made. A few follow-ups. He says, you asked me if I had people in my life warning me about marrying Rachel. Yes, I did. My parents both begged me not to go through with the wedding after hearing all the fights that we would have. Classic example of a young guy or young person, let's be honest, both sexes do this, where they know everything, because young people know everything and don't listen to people that they know truly have their back. You had to learn the hard way. My friends definitely thought it was weird that Rachel and I would never hang out once when we became engaged. They would joke that I couldn't wait for the wedding day so they could meet her. Yeah, she was isolating you. I'm convinced of that. Have you all to herself, and that way then you had nobody else and she could pull her bullshit and control you. The BJ. Yes, I can confirm I did receive the BJ. This was before I officially discovered the cheating. After that was discovered, I shut down all her attempts to pity SCX me that she was trying to use to keep me roped in. The MLB player. He was not a star player by any means, probably nobody that anybody would ever recognize. He was a relief pitcher for like 1 season before getting hurt and leaving the majors for good. Yeah, I remember she was having the affair with the MLB player. Also, he says, someone asked about my ex-girlfriend. Soon after we broke up, she started dating another dude from the area and ended up marrying him. They're still together, last I heard, and they have a couple kids. I'm happy for her. Also, for context, my cheating on her only lasted a total of about 2 weeks before I told her and broke things off. Doesn't justify it, but also it wasn't something that dragged on for months or anything like that. Yeah, not cool to cheat, but at least you ended it relatively quickly compared to people that can have this shit go on for years sometimes. He says, also, out of curiosity, I decided to look up Rachel on social media. This will shock everyone, sarcasm, but now she's covered in tattoos and about 40 pounds overweight. That's how it works. It's amazing. And I'm willing to bet you 40 pounds overweight compared to when you used to know her and covered in tattoos, I bet she still thinks she's the bomb. I bet she thinks she still got it. It's like, bitch, have you looked in the mirror lately? Have you gotten the measuring tape around your waist? Come on here. It's amazing. It says, I promise you guys this story and the following update are real. This all took about 6 hours to piece together, and living a very busy life, I would not waste time making something like this up. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, dude. He says, I was happy to read a few comments wanting to hear my many updates on the collection of crazy stories that came after Rachel and I split up. I actually became a Chad for a while as a result, and I definitely think you guys will enjoy this, so here we go. Yes, he definitely was a Chad and has many adventures, but you're going to see he tends to date kind of the same types of gals, and to no surprise, they're all nuts. I mentioned starting dating someone during the time Rachel and I were in the dissolution process. We will call her Liz. She was a waitress that I picked up while at a restaurant. I knew this wouldn't be a long-term thing at all. All I was looking for was to have some rebound fun, so the red flags weren't as much of a concern. The first red flag was her job. Almost every time she would get off work, she would tell me that her boss would corner her and try to kiss her. I pushed him away was always the response. I wouldn't get involved with anybody in the service, and particularly someone you meet on the job, because remember, they're doing their job. Because oftentimes they flirt with you and come on to you. They make a living off tips. And even if it's genuine, they do like you, they are constantly bombarded with dudes trying to get their attention and hit on them and everything. It's just not, I don't know, it's not my thing. She never quit and never filed any complaints against him. Very strange. Red flag number 2, her previous job. She worked as an A&R representative for a major record label. The artist she worked for was a big-time R&B artist. I won't name names. Then why was she a waitress afterwards? Unless bad economic times, or maybe it was a real high-end restaurant. I don't know. In her phone, she had contacts of every major artist in hip-hop over the past 20 years that you can imagine, phone numbers, emails, and all. And again, she's a waitress. As if that wasn't big enough red flag, she said a few of them emailed her sausage pics and even showed them to me. Goodbye. I know you wanted some rebound fun and everything, but that you can just see that this would be bringing turmoil into your life. Again, I won't say who, but they're household names. She said the pictures were not asked for, they would just send them. Yeah, right. She claimed to know all these people through the label. Red flag number 3, she was in Playboy. Not a cover or anything like that, but one of those inserts that come with the magazine. It was called something like Busty Naturals. Yeah, anybody above the age of probably 40, definitely 40 or maybe upper 30s, remembers actually having Playboys and Penthouses and Hustlers and all that. And all the advertisements in there and everything. It's funny, but the advertisements were actually, and let's be honest, sometimes the stories were better than the actual, what they showed, particularly in Playboy. I mean, you got a boob shot, you're lucky. I mean, it wasn't very graphic. The good old days. I used to smuggle those into the house, and a couple times my mom found them in my room, freaked the fuck out. Pissed me off because then she took them, of course. So I had to become more clever. Better she found the Playboys than the Hustlers. Oh, what a different time. Anyhow, it says here, I mentioned before that Rachel tried to hook up with me after she found out I was dating Liz, which made Liz really hate Rachel and go after me even harder. Again, female competition. They love it. Liz got pretty possessive, and funny enough, what made me cut off this whole rebound fun with Liz was that Rachel's mom called my mom and told that Liz used to be a stripper. Whether it was true or not, I didn't care. This was just too much fun, even for something that wasn't serious. So I cut things off. Or too much for something that wasn't serious. She threw a fit and showed up at my parents' house to beg me to come back, but I told her to leave me alone. Yeah, because she's probably this former stripper, if she was a stripper, or did nude shots and stuff like that. She's not used to guys dumping her. So of course that made her attracted to you and chase you. It's amazing how that works. At this time I decided I had enough of the area that I was living in. I'd always wanted to head out west, so I started applying for jobs. One of my interview trips, I met the next girl, Gina, at a casino. She was there with her friend and what appeared to be another guy who was hitting on her. She was a 9, so I said, fuck it, I'll make a move. I jumped in the conversation, and soon after that, the other guy gave up and left. I think this guy reached a point in his life that he was just like, after all the shit I went through, I'm just going to go for the hot girls, and they turn me down, but I don't care. And interestingly, it worked. But they were all fucking crazy. Notice a pattern here, hot crazy scale. We kept talking, got drunk, and started making out. At some point, the guy next to her made a joke, but he wasn't even talking to us. Gina thought he was. She gets up, drunk, knocking a glass over on the floor, and goes, "What did you say, motherfucker?" Extremely confused, the guy asked what she's talking about. She insists he said something, which he didn't, so he whips out his badge. He's a cop. He tells me we better leave because she is going to get us kicked out. She turns to me and asks if I'm coming home with her. I was invested at this point, and she wasn't a 9. If she wasn't a 9, I would have said no, but I should have said no anyway. Smack! So, she got drunk, lost it, smashed something on the ground. Guy turned out to be a cop, because if it wasn't a cop, she probably would have attacked him. And you're going to go home with her? Now you know you're going to get some serious nookie, and we all know darn well, at least most of us know, the crazy ones are fucking wild in bed. And that's great. But that's a small percentage of the time that you're with them, unless, well, you have a rotation, you truly are a Chad, and the rest of it's crazy. Not worth it. In the cab ride back to her place, she kept asking our Middle Eastern cab driver if he was a terrorist. Oh my God. That's fucking rude. I swear drunk women are the absolute worst. No shit, that's why I don't have anything to do with drunks. We got back to her place and I did the deed. We kept in touch the next couple months, and after I moved there for work, we started dating. Smack! Dude, it's one thing to bang her one time and never see her again, but to date someone like this, you're out of your goddamn mind. But she was a 9, so that's why you're after her. It was mainly just for the SCX though, since that's about all we did. A few red flags. Dude, there were plenty of red flags the night you met her at the freaking casino. 1, she never paid for anything. Lunches, dinners, etc. One time at the bar, she said she wanted a drink and head over to the bartender. I said, hey, you forgot your wallet, which was with me at the table. She goes, oh, I'm a girl, I don't pay for drinks. 2, she admitted her and her ex-boyfriend used to get into fights with people at bars. Shocker. The casino thing was not a one-time incident. 3, she admitted to hanging out with celebrities in casinos. She said her and her friends once were invited to the VIP room by some very famous rappers. What is it with you and the chicks and the fucking rappers and whatever? But then again, they're all in their prime in their 20s. They're all 9s and up in the looks department. She hangs on casinos where you're going to run into people in the high roller clubs and the VIP sections. It's possible. But this is not girlfriend material, my man. She says nothing happened and the guys were too high on pills to even talk. Sure, honey. I don't know why I keep attracting girls who have hung out with celebrities, but there's more of that to come in this update, guys. The final straw came one night when we were out and her best friend, her husband, and a few of his single friends, about 7 of us total. Okay, they meant your girlfriend's husband, her friend's husband. Gina seemed to be actively avoiding me the entire night, almost as if she was trying to appear single. She spent a lot of time talking to single guys as well. Not cool. Bye-bye. Well, if you're casually dating and she's your friends with benefits, that's one thing. But if you're supposed to be actually like boyfriend-girlfriend exclusive, which would be dumb with this girl, then that's different. She's ignoring you and talking to other dudes. I'd just leave her ass there. She then made a comment to me along the lines of, one day when you become a man like Nick, maybe you'll own a house. Nick was her best friend's husband. I busted up laughing, walked away, took a cab home, and turned my phone off. Good for you. Fuck her, insulting you like that. She came over the next day, asking why I left. I told her I wasn't going to put up with disrespect like that, what happened last night, which she insisted was no big deal. Doesn't matter. I don't care what you insist you think. It was disrespectful, and I'm sure she was probably 3 sheets to the wind at that point. I said pretending to be single right in front of your boyfriend or whatever we were was trash behavior. She said I was being controlling and she would never let a man tell her what to do. So she stormed off and said we were done. Okay, bye bitch. She beat me to it. Good riddance. At this point, I transitioned to a full-blown Chad mode. I told you she wasn't girlfriend material, but good for you, let her go. The next up is Jamie, a nurse. Oh, can't wait to see how this goes. That I met on a dating app. Again, nothing serious. On the 3rd date, we went into an all-you-can-eat drink event for one of the boxing pay-per-views at a casino. This is why you're meeting this is why you have these crazy chicks, dude. You keep meeting them at fucking casinos. Have anybody you been to a casino lately and see the type of gals that go there on Friday, Saturday night? Girls' nights there. On the 3rd date, we went to... Oh, I read that part. She got absolutely hammered. Another pattern here. They're all fucking drunks. First date and she's getting hammered, or after, on the 3rd date she's hammered. Leave her ass. I wouldn't deal with that bullshit. Her roommate was there. He was a gay dude who was way overprotective of her in a weird way. He kept making comments like, you better treat her right. After about the 4th time he said this, I said, dude, are you sure you're not into her? Relax. He backed off and transitioned his comments to hey bro, you need to seal the deal with her tonight. She's really into you. Weird, but anyway, she gets so hammered that I have to practically carry her out of the casino, like Scottie Pippen carried MJ off the court in the flu game. Dude, 3rd date she gets that wasted, I would have left her ass there. I have no patience for fucking drunks. 1 drink, no problem. Maybe 2 if you can handle it, but beyond that, if a gal's just down in shots and daiquiris, whatever the fuck she drinks, and gets wasted on the 3rd date, and not to mention her gay friend's there and he's giving you shit, pussy's not worth it, dude. But You got a good story. We can all be entertained. I decided to drive her home in my car. Smack. I left her ass there. We were driving on the strip in Las Vegas, and she said she needed to throw up and that she can't hold it. She leans over and pukes in the cup holder, filling it up to the brim. In your car, what'd I tell you about leaving her drunk ass there at the casino? Let her be somebody else's problem. You're not a true Chad back then, because a true Chad would have left her ass there. He's like, you're not going to fucking come in my car and get sick and throw up. A minute later, we are stopping at the red light, and she says she has to pee. Oh, God, where's this going? I told her to hold it. She says no, opens the door, and jaywalks across the Vegas Strip into a random casino, leaving me at the red light, driving her car. Okay, it's her car. Well, that's still full of puke and a passenger door left open. Miraculously, no cops saw this. I was able to eventually turn into another casino where I left her car in the parking garage. Good. Check, please. I'm out of here. Get an Uber. I tracked her down and got us both a cab. Smack. Why? Again, you weren't the Chad. Chad would have been gone. Because I also wanted to make sure she got home okay, considering how drunk she was. Who gives a shit? She got herself into this mess. I'm convinced, and this is me, and a lot of people think I'm an asshole for this. I've been told this in person more than once. Unless this is your bro, and it's a one-time thing, and he's in trouble. If you got people that you know that repeatedly do this type of thing, get so wasted that they can't control themselves and bring turmoil to everybody else, A, you shouldn't be hanging out with them. B, they pull that shit, leave them. Let what happens, happens. I mean, as long as they don't have keys to a car. Let what happens, happens, and they'll learn a really important lesson. But they're not going to learn anything if they keep doing this stuff and somebody inconvenienced themselves to take care of their ass. Again, I have no patience for drunks and drug addicts. The next few girls involved a chick who said all her guy roommates have seen her boobs because she tans topless in the backyard all the time. Oh yeah, she's one to take home to mama. She also peeked in the parking lot after a date. The next girl became incredibly possessive after agreeing it was nothing serious. She was followed by a single mom who would also freak out on me for keeping it casual after she agreed to it. I also had a couple girls from my bachelorette party fight over me. I was having an interesting time, to say the least. Dude, yeah, you were attracting all good-looking girls, even the single MOM, and they all had the pattern. They were all nuts. They were all drama queens. They obviously like to drink a lot, or drunks. You know, you weren't exactly meeting the girls at church or at the art museum, although then again, I've met crazy girls at church too. Yeah, you need to change, you know, your what is the algorithm of who you pick to go out with back then. Next came Ashley. We started dating and got along great at first. She seemed cool and easygoing. Deep down I knew it wouldn't be a long-term thing, but figured what the hell, it's okay for now. Don't you have other things going on in your life to work on, like your purpose, getting a better job, working out, hitting the gym, saving your money, and spending all this good free time you have during the productive years of your 20s and 30s with all these bimbos? But you gotta learn. Deep down I knew it wouldn't last, but I figured what the hell, it's okay for now. She lost her job after her company downsized and asked if she could crash with me for a few weeks until she found a new job, since her apartment was very expensive. Oh, don't you dare. Oh, no. She's not your problem. I agreed, since she agreed to help me with my rent. Smack. If any of you guys are thinking, he ain't getting any fucking rent, watch this. Of course, weeks turned into months, and she never helped with rent. Because she's saying, I pay you in other ways. I come to find out she had like $700,000 in the bank from a previous work settlement after filing a S-word harassment claim. Bitch, get the fuck out. You got $700,000? Oh, before you get out, I want a freaking a cashier's check from Bank of America for X amount. You can afford it. Don't give me that. And an S-word harassment suit? Sure. When I asked why she wouldn't pull from that money to help out, she said that was money she did not want to touch. It was for a rainy day. Rainy day, $700,000. You're talking about a whole like Noah's Ark flood. $700K. Then come the stories about her past. She was married before, just like I was, but claims her husband cheated on her and was abusive and manipulative. Isn't that pretty much what they all say nowadays? That everybody's ex was abusive in some way? I had doubts about this because she had an extremely short temper and would snap at the smallest things. And why the fuck are you with this chick? Dude, I think I'm going to say what probably a lot of guys have said at this point in the comment sections. You like drama. Maybe you like drama now, but back then, you liked it. You liked the drama. You liked the excitement. You liked the fighting over. You liked the chaos. I think with your ex Rachel, you were so used to chaos, that's all you knew. So you chose more gals with drama and chaos because that was just what you were conditioned for. Seriously, something to think about. She also told me about how she almost had a threesome with 2 dudes, and that one time her and her best friend both gave her ex-boyfriend a BJ. And you made this your girlfriend to live in? Friends, a hookup with making goddamn sure you have protection, that's one thing, but girlfriend and moving in with her? Or her moving in with you? Also, she's claimed to hung out with a very famous actor when she was in Los Angeles, and he invited her back to his place. Here we go with that shit again. Again, hot, crazy scale. So it's not impossible. Statistically, it seems very strange that you're meeting all these girls, that celebrities and all that, but if you're living in Vegas, you never know. She claims that nothing happened besides a kiss. Bullshit. She also had a lot of guy friends. Major red flag. Nope, bad idea. She constantly wanted me to hang out with them, claiming they were all just friends. One day when she went out, I looked through her old phone and found dozens of emails with one of these guys when they described their S-word encounters together, talking about oral sex at work, in her office, among other things. Is this the same girl that won that $700,000 settlement because of S-word, something S-word harassment in the workplace, when right here she's claiming that she was giving oral, among many other things, in her office? Hello? When I confronted her on this, she claimed it was just oral stuff, and that she didn't consider it to be sex technically. Bullshit. Bullshit. Any guy out there that is in a relationship right now, if some girl fucking sucked his dick at work, I guarantee you his wife or girlfriend would have a problem with that and would call it cheating. But in her mind, technically it's nothing. There comes a point where even casual stuff has its limits, and the bullshit just isn't worth it anymore. You think? Until you go on to the next drama queen, my man. We had a huge fight over this, and when I came back from work one night, her bags were packed. She moved out and it was done. She wound up getting married again and then divorced again. Shocker. She just moved on to the next sucker. Let's see here. After this, I was back to Chad mode for a bit with nothing crazy to report on. So you had enough, huh? I was working 2 jobs so I could save a little, and also had some going out money. The reason you had to take on 2 jobs, dude, is because you were dating all these wacko chicks and spending all this money. If you would reduce that drastically, with a little pussy here and there, you would have had a hell of a lot more money. I then met Nancy at my part-time job. She was a customer from Colombia. A solid 9, and everybody in the place turned their heads when she walked in. Oh, so now you have some a Latino girlfriend. They tend to be very beautiful, very wild in bed, very passionate, and very fiery. So I can't wait to see where this goes. I made the move and got her phone number. First day, I showed up to pick her up, and she calls me saying that she just got off work and was running late. Shit test. That's a shit test, because she's beautiful. She can get away with anything she wants, even though you made solid plans. Never mind, click. Call me another time. She apologized, but then it took her almost an hour to come outside. See? Shit test number 2. You should have checked her. You should have shown up for the date. I was busy texting other girls during this time, so I didn't realize how long it was. We go to the restaurant, and she immediately goes to the bathroom for like 25 minutes. Shit test. And you're letting her get away with this bullshit because she's beautiful. The staff is giving me the looks. Sorry, dude, I think she ditched you. Nope, it turns out she was taking Instagram selfies in the bathroom. After dinner, we end up hooking up. Then hooking up a few more times in the weeks after that. Alright, at least we got laid after that whole thing. She was usually okay with just hanging out in the apartment, but would make comments like, "Why don't you take me out to eat?" To which I replied, if you're paying. Good answer. Or how about the last time I took you out to eat, you were in the bathroom for 25 goddamn minutes taking pictures of yourself for Instagram. She didn't like that too much and said, I don't just hook up with anybody. I'm very picky. Ego. She also asked if she could move in and crash the bee after she got fired from her waitressing job. I said, hell no. Good, bro. You learned the last time from Miss $700,000. The final straw for me was very shortly after this when she was showing me some photos on her phone. Not only were there a few photos of her tanning topless on a yacht, but she also had several photos of herself wearing a Miami Heat NBA championship ring. He says, I swear, guys, I don't know how I keep attracting these girls who keep getting hit up by celebrities. But my theory is they often fish in the same pond as us normal dudes. Again, you're in Vegas and you're frequenting places that are going to have a lot of beautiful women. And if they're 9s or 10s, yes, they're going to attract, believe me, you could be a celebrity or a wealthy guy and have no game whatsoever. But if you got money, you can get 9s and 10s. They're not going to stay loyal to you, but you can get them. Or shall I say, you can rent them for a little bit. Throughout this timeline, there were a lot of other situations with additional women that happened, but just not enough to go into detail. Dude, you got more? Countless times being flaked on, ghosted on, and even showing up to an event a girl invited me to, only to find her making out with someone else when I arrived. That's actually more realistic, because it sounds like you've been just going one girl to the other, when actually you had been ghosted and flaked on and bullshit. That's normal. The dating landscape was absolutely treacherous, and this was like 10 years ago. I can't imagine how bad it is now. Dude, it's horrible. All in all, I learned a lot from all these experiences, and I'm grateful they helped me shape me where I am today. It feels good to no longer be a simp. Thank God you learned. This about sums up my experience with dating after Rachel, up to the point I met my current wife. She treats me like a king and has from day one. Good. And I'm assuming she doesn't have any friends that are rappers or celebrities or anything like that. We've been together for almost 9 years. She's very conservative, incredibly supportive, encouraging, and believes in traditional marriage roles where the husband leads. Awesome. You deserve that, man. She supports my hobbies, puts up with my BS from time to time, and is exactly what I'm looking for all along in my partner. That's it, SSM. Thanks for reading my stories, and I hope everyone enjoyed them. God bless. Well, bro, that's a hell of a story. Definitely one to tell the grandkids about, but I'm convinced that in that time period, you were so used to chaos with Rachel that that's what you were looking for in everybody else, because it's not an accident. Yeah, they were all extremely good looking, and hot crazy scale, perfect example, and you were in Las Vegas, and there are a lot of crazy fucking women there. Trust me. So, I get it, but eventually I'm glad you came back down to earth, and you met a gal who's conservative and traditional and bringing no fucking drama. So good for you. So it's quite a story. And given how the first one went, it's hard to believe that you end up where you are. So, but good for you. And it goes to show you guys, if you certainly saw the first video, which I assume you have, you can go through a lot of hell, make a lot of absolutely crazy mistakes, learn, and then apply the teachings, and then be a much better, happier life. So I'm very happy for this guy. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let this guy know what you think. And also, guys, you got a great story to send. Email me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it. And whether they're a few pages long or really long, I'll definitely do them. Just, again, give me time. The longer stories take longer because, as you can imagine, I got to read them. And also, guys, you come across good stuff from my other channels, for They Did What, or SSM Clips, crazy short Reddit stories or long Reddit stories, send them my way as well. And I might add, lately, for the last couple months, and I'm noticing this with other content creators, I'm not being promoted so much on YouTube anymore. So if you can certainly recommend me to your friends or family, anybody that likes this stuff, please do. Or sign up to all my channels. It'll definitely help me out. I'm not sure if it's a temporary thing that's going on with YouTube, or this is now the new normal. I don't know. But I'd appreciate your help in that department. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.